Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chelsea. I'm a vintage reseller in North Idaho, and in today's video, we're going to be going over what I sold on Etsy in July. So if you're new here, I own Hidden Gems. I have a store in Harrison, Idaho, along with a vintage booth in Coeur d'Alene, and of course, I sell online. So I have my own website, and then at the beginning of this year, I started selling on Etsy. And I will say it has provided some really good additional supplemental income to my store and my booth. So today I'm gonna be breaking down what items sold this month. I'm gonna try to remember what I paid for them, what they sold for, and then we're gonna look at the year as a whole for year to date, and I'm going to share with you what my monthly average sales are. So let's jump into it.
All right, so if y'all have never visited my Etsy shop before, here it is. Most of the stuff I put on here is home decor, vintage home decor. I do have a few jewelry listings and a couple clothing items, but majority of what you see on here is going to be vintage home decor. So here is some current active listings just to kind of give you an idea of what all I sell. So I really love original art, unique home decor, glassware, things like that. So that's typically what you can find on here. Okay, so for the month of July, I had 11 total orders. Now, one order I actually had to end up canceling, unfortunately. It sold in store, and unfortunately it slipped through the cracks, and I wasn't able to get the listing down before it sold on Etsy. That is super rare, but unfortunately it happened. They were very understanding. So this one was sold in store, but so 10 orders sold on Etsy. And the first one here is this gorgeous Southwest portrait painting. So this is one I found in Seaside, Oregon, and y'all might have seen that video. If you're new here, go check out some previous videos that my mom and I went to Oregon. We went to Thrift-A-Palooza in Portland and then made a trip to Seaside to the coast. And she came from an antique store there, and I just really loved the very vibrant colors, and I just thought she was so beautiful and striking. If I remember correctly, I think I paid maybe $20 for her, an excellent price. And so that one, I was very excited to sell that one for $128. So definitely got good margins on that. I love original art. It is truly one of a kind, and I just love the vibrant colors of her. So that was a very exciting sale. The next one here is this set of glasses. So I would say for the past year, I've really gotten excited about glassware and barware, especially colored glass. These were very unique. They're from the 1970s, this set of 4 goblets, and I just loved the ombre with the light brown to the darker brown. I believe I think I got these from Goodwill, if I'm not mistaken, in Post Falls. And if I remember correctly, I want to say I paid about $4 a piece for those. And then one thing I'll mention too with all my Etsy orders, I do include free shipping. So the cost of shipping is calculated into my pricing. And so this set sold for $68. The next item is this burlwood serving bowl. This one just had really beautiful, rich colors, an interesting kind of like organic scalloped shape on that. I love finding unique wood bowls and serving bowls. So this one sold for $58. And I do not remember where I got that one or what I paid for that one, unfortunately. I am getting better about keeping records though and getting an item price. I used to just keep my receipts and kind of do like an average cost so I can get like average profit margins, but I am getting a little bit more detailed in that just so I know exactly what my margins are on each item. Let's see here. So the next one, I do have a coupon code, as you can see here. So this one sold with a 10% discount for a favorited item. I love this painting. It was so adorable. I love that copper teapot, the flowers, the lemons. This was a small painting. I know it's hard to tell what size this is, but just really beautiful colors. Again, I just love original art because it is truly one of a kind. Okay, this one is 12 by 9. So this one sold for $53. And this next one was a really cool find. So this is, and y'all might remember this from a past video. So when my dad was visiting from Texas, I took him thrifting with me and we had so much fun. It was his first time like really thrifting. And we found this one at UGM in Hayden, Idaho. It's one of our neighboring towns next to Coeur d'Alene. And it is this gorgeous solid brass wall plaque. I wasn't exactly sure what it was when I found it, but I knew it was very unique, very interesting. I could not find anything like it online. I found some different like wall sconces and a couple things, but I didn't find anything exactly like this. And so I knew it was rare. I paid $25, I believe, and I might have even had a coupon, but I remember the item being $25. And it actually sold pretty quickly. So he was here in June and this sold in July. So, and this one sold for $195. I estimated it was probably from like the 1920s, possibly even older. I don't even think Etsy lets me go before the 20s, but when I'm selecting the age range, but this very well could be from the 1800s. So that was a really good find and a great sell. The next one was another one that sold with a 10% off for a comeback discount. And this was a wooden carrying stool. This was actually a really cool piece. It folds up. Let me see if I can get that picture up there. So it folds up like this to carry. And this was made in Yugoslavia, which, if y'all know, this is no longer a country. And so it is estimated at least before the 90s. I'm estimating it's probably from like the 70s if I were to guess on there, but just had a cool shape on that. It almost reminds me of like a painter's palette. And that one sold for $68. The next item, this was a really neat one too. So this is another one that sold for 10% off. This is a handmade ashtray. So I got this when my mom and I went yard selling here in Coeur d'Alene, and I was speaking with the gentleman at the sale, and he said his brother made this, and it was very old. It was a little beat up. It has definitely some character on it, but it's this copper, and it had these interesting little like details and little medallions on the sides of it. Some of them are kind of hard to tell what they are, but these are like little lions. So that one sold for $44, and I think I paid $5 for that at the yard sale. The next item here is this. Let me see something. Yeah, so this one also sold at 10% off. Someone had favorited it and then came back to it. This was a really cool Southwest pottery vase. And it's got the little road runner with the snake in its mouth and cactus. It had some cute little designs around that vase. This one sold very, very fast. And unfortunately, I can't remember where I got this one or what I paid for it. I know I didn't pay a whole lot for it, but it sold for $44. And I think I've got two more here. So the next one, so this was a funny story. I learned a new word. So undulating. So basically that just means kind of like wavy stripes. This one I got at Happy's Marketplace in St. Mary's, and I got that just a few weeks ago actually, and that one sold pretty quickly. I think they had marked it either as like a catch-all dish or an ashtray. Ashtrays in general, if they're selling as an ashtray, most people aren't using them as ashtrays anymore. They're using them for like trinket dishes and catch-all bowls. But I just thought that one had really unique markings, very striking. I love the black and the white with that kind of royal blue color in there. And I think I paid $7 for that one, and it ended up selling for $30. So after shipping on this one, I didn't get a ton of margins in it. Still made a profit, but that one sold for $30. And I think the last one here, this is one, I've had these a few months. I think this is one of my first listings. So I just started really selling on Etsy back in January. And I think this was listed probably in January or February. So it took a little while, but I want to say I paid maybe $2 or $3 for these candlestick holders. But what's cool about them, they're these two-tone wood. and I just thought they were very striking. And so for that little pair, those sold for $20. So overall, I was happy with the month. So now I'm going to take you to my stats here. So for July, I did a total of $684.10. And I made 10 sales. So my average price point is divided by 10, so about $68, which I'm very happy with that price point. I know that includes shipping, but you can see here my total shipping cost was $93.49. So just under $10 for shipping per item is my average. I don't pay any additional marketing for Etsy. I know they do offer that as a service, but I don't pay for that extra fee. And as I mentioned, so I have a store, so all the items that are listed on Etsy are also in my store. So keep that in mind there, because we're, selling them there. And so it's just nice to have Etsy as just an additional, platform to be able to make some of those sales on. Okay, so here is my total breakdown for the year. So year to date, I have done $4,335. So that comes out to about an average of $620 a month, which I am super happy with. Again, this is a new platform, fairly new platform for me to sell on. Again, I mentioned I have my store and vintage booth, but we are a seasonal town where I live. And so, we have a lot of slow months in the wintertime. And that was really why I got into selling on Etsy and online, is just to help supplement those slow months. So it's been a nice little supplemental income for me. And I'm very happy with that. We've had some months where I think my best month was 2 or 3 months, a few months ago maybe, and I did about 1,000 in sales. So I was a little bit lower this month and last month. But again, so I'm averaging about $620 a month. Now, of course, that doesn't include fees and shipping. So all that's got to come out of there, and of course my cost of goods sold. But overall, I'm very happy with that.
Well, that's it for today. I know that was a short and sweet video, but hopefully this is helpful to y'all. I really don't know. Comment below. I'd love to hear from my viewers if y'all are resellers, or if you are just shoppers, or just, love vintage and love thrift with me videos. I know for me, it's really helpful to watch other reseller videos that do these types of videos on Etsy sales. So let me know what brought you here to this channel. And let me know if you'd like to see more of these. I think I might try to squeeze one of these videos in every month. And just hopefully that'll help someone see maybe what's selling, and or if you just like shopping and like thrifting and seeing vintage, that gives you an idea of some stuff that I sell, and you can hopefully find something you like on here. Be sure you're favoriting my Etsy shop. That way you can get updated on when I do put new listings online. And I'll also include the link right here with the QR code. You can scan that. That'll take you to all my links. So it'll have the Etsy shop, my website, and connect with me on social media. I'd love to be friends. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.